Good morning, everyone. It's Sal Straight Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream. I hope everyone is having a fantastic morning so far, and you're enjoying the elements of the Saturday morning, of course, guys. Great to have you on board. Good to have you here. What is everyone up to today? Hope everyone's having a great time. Everyone had a nice sleep, whether it is afternoon, evening, morning, wherever it is, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Let me just write down a quick tweet, if I may just write that a tweet quickly. Let me just write down. Goodness me. There we go. Yeah, if I write down a tweet, I just need to write down this tweet real quickly before I start anything, because if I don't, no one's gonna know I'm online, guys. Absolutely. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, guys, before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video if you can. Have I got this all straight? Have I got it all straight up? Great to have you on board, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's have a look. Layman aiming to Allegri. Yeah, I'm going to get into that, my friend. Until the manager is gone, I'm not believing in no rumors of the manager that is linked to the club. I'm tired of nonsense. Tired of this nonsense. They do anything to sell news about Man United. Rasta, you know, speculation is a thing with Man United that happens throughout history at the end of the day. And this is not speculation. This is actually an interview, actually. And basically, these, what I would say in life, there's no smoke without fire. I supported Man United 40 odd years, my bro. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of rumors that have circulated, and I've grown to trust certain journalists in my career, in my life, basically. And I've had journalists on here. I'm friends with Fabrizio. There's things like that. Do you know what I mean? So I do have inside knowledge about it, and I do have inside knowledge. So at the end of the day, we can cry and scream, oh, it's all rumors and so I'm fed up with this nonsense. Listen, at the end of the day, we spit what's going on in the news. You know what I mean? That's what we do, right? And if we don't like the news, turn off the TV, don't watch the news. It's simple as that. At the end of the day, lots is going on in regards to Man United. That's what it's about, my guy. Do you know what I mean? So there you go. Guys, so Allegri played for two strikers at Juventus would be perfect. I'm going to get into that, Hasfia. Thank you so much for Hasaifa. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining me on the stream, my guy. Thank you very much, you legend. I just need to write this tweet still. I still haven't written the tweet, for goodness sake. Yeah, and great to have you on board, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. It's really good to have you guys here, of course, guys. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Sal, and good morning, Sal. Just a big screen walk, 1.5 hour, came back with a sweet. How are you? Good, Jim. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. That's more like it. When you come on this stream, you always ask, how are you, Sal? That's it. Not come on here and just moan. You come on here and you send the positivity, my guy. Absolutely. Big up yourself. Absolutely. And is dressed heat today? It's quite lighter than you think. It's actually quite cool in my home. We do have air conditioning indoors, so you know we don't get as hot. But you know what? If I go outside, it might be a different story. So I have to really change it up a bit sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. Anyway, it's great to have you on board. As I said, I'm going to get into it straight away. In regards to Allegri, I've never been totally for Italian managers managing United. I mean, obviously not because they're Italian. It's just because of their tactics. They play the three at the back with five at the back, basically. A lot of the managers, and they play a very pragmatic style of football. But one thing we will say about Allegri is that he's been around the block. Whether he's been successful, whether he's not been successful, he was successful, very successful at Juve, of course. Let's not forget he was. And at the moment, you know, he is one of the candidates to become Manchester United manager. Now, before I get into this, I want to bring in to you this real quickly, which is an interview from Jim Ratcliffe yesterday. So basically, Jim Ratcliffe has been saying that the decision is not his decision. It's not his decision to remove the manager. What do you make of this? So he's basically saying that the football structure at Manchester United doesn't involve him. It is basically Wilcox, Barada, Brailsford, who are going to decide the destination, the future of, obviously, Manchester United manager, which includes Erik ten Hag being sacked. So it isn't going to be down to Jim Ratcliffe. So basically he's saying, but I want success for Manchester United. He wants success for Man United, but in regards to the decisions at Manchester United, it's not down to him. But he did say some things that are very telling in regards to what their ambition is at the football club. And on no uncertain circumstances, he basically said that, you know what, we want success and we want to bring Man United to the top. So he didn't give his backing to Eric Ten Hag. So in my opinion, in regards to the interview with Jim Ratcliffe yesterday, I feel like it's very telling. And I feel like it gave us a lot of clues in regards to where Ten Hag stands, because he didn't give him the full backing. He said, it's not his choice. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's backing him. He's backing out of it. He said it's the football structure. It is Manchester United's choice who's going to be the next manager of Manchester United, of course. You know, so at the end of the day, look, you know, I mean, whether it is Jim Ratcliffe's decision or not, you know, I believe that he should have a say in regards to it. It looks like it's pretty precarious in regards to Eric Ten Hag and his future. And Sunday could be the final nail in the coffin. And what do we do from there? Obviously, rumors, in regards to other managers, you know what? When you're about to lose your job, if you are about to lose your job, you know what? Rumors are going to come in and replacements are going to be speculated, of course, right? And obviously interviews and stuff like that come out. And you know what? With Man United, we sell news. We do sell news. But I tend to ignore what news is out there in regards to the mainstream outlets. I tend to look at my contacts and see what's going on in regards to what really is going on. Allegri is a big admirer of Manchester United. Of course, he's of that age who remembers Man United for what they are. And you know what? He's 57 years old, and he would love to manage Man United. Of course, who wouldn't love to manage Man United? And at the end of the day, look, 57 is quite a steep age for a manager. I would prefer to go for someone who's a little bit younger than Allegri, who is 57. So that's what I would do. So if we go into the actual stats of Allegri right here, if we go into it, let me just get this up for you. Yeah, so let's get into the stats of Allegri. So Allegri, right? Allegri, let me just remove this. Allegri is he's 57 years old, Italian. Wait, he prefers the 3-5-2 flat, right? The 3-5-2 flat. Okay. But what interests me about Allegri in regards to that, if I can find it, if I got it up here, of course. If I get it up, let me get this up for you. But it's very, very interesting in regards to it. I'll get it up for you right now. Let me just get this. Basically, Allegri changed from a 3-5-2 to a 4, especially during the Champions League, because he believed that the formation wasn't working. When you look at, and this is what I was saying yesterday, so when you look at his actual achievements in regards to that, look, he's won the Scudetto 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and once with AC Milan. He's won 5 Italian Cups as well. So yeah, he's not bad, is he? He's won quite a few trophies, of course, guys. Let me just do this real quickly. He's won quite a few trophies, of course, guys. So at the end of the day, look, you know what? Yeah, let's get this up. Yeah, let's get. So at the end of the day, he is a successful manager, guys. A very, very successful manager. And when we look at that as well, he's also won trophies. That's a Swallow as well, which is 1 times International Dricktelgelmeister trophy, whatever that was. Goodness me, it's easy for you to say, guys. So yeah, you know what? He's got a history. But then we go to obviously Jim Ratcliffe. I like Eric. So Jim Ratcliffe breaks down silence on Eric Ten Hag's future, but co-owner insists decision is not my call amid growing demands for Man United boss to be sacked. So basically, he's saying he likes him, which is nice. Of course, but in football, it doesn't really matter if someone likes you or not. It's, you know what, you could be liked but still be sacked. Do you know what I mean? And that's one thing I would say in regards to that. But one thing I would say is that it does look pretty precarious, and Sunday could be a very, very telling day for Eric Ten Hag. It could be his last managerial game at Manchester United. Whatever you think of that, however you think of that. It isn't great, of course, when we sack managers, but when we sack managers, you know what, we have to get the right choice in. Allegri is one of the names, but I would say, and I would stress that Allegri is 57 years old, almost 60 years old. We need someone who's a little bit fresh. We need someone who's up and coming, and also someone who's respected. I believe that if we want a long-term manager for Man United, and we should be aiming at a long-term manager for Man United, we need to get someone who's a little bit more younger. And that's my opinion on that. I'm not saying an ageist or anything like that, but that's what I would do. Good afternoon, Sal. Yeah, I think I've read that one. Big up. Sal, do you think Ineos would put a survey for us to choose which manager we want? I doubt it, mate. I doubt it. I think Ineos now have got the structure in place to decide what the manager is, and Wilcox, Barada, and Brailsford will be deciding who the manager, Ashford as well, will be deciding who the manager is. Jim Ratcliffe will be, as he said yesterday, who will be taking a backward step in regards to picking the manager. It will be the structure at Man United who will be picking the manager, guys. So, yeah, you know what? Hopefully they pick the right manager. There's enough of them there. How many does it take to change a light bulb at the end of the day? There's enough of them there to pick the right manager. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Enjoy the big walk. Went for a lovely hill area and let me feel much peace. Great to get out and explore places, and you have a great day too. Big up, Jim. Thank you so much, my guy. Hope you have a lovely day. Jim Wilkins, did you encounter kangaroos? Great, mate. Big up, Sniper Man, of course. Things are very grin at the moment. Beyond this week, it is impossible to tell which will happen. Results will determine. My job is good to get behind the beautiful club. Jim, love it, my friend. That is what it's all about. It's not, you know what, one thing it was, and one thing I'm a big fan of, and I have done it throughout my life, you know what I mean? And it's got me close to a lot of great people in my life. And the thing, what I did is not moan too much. I mean, when the results happen, you get disappointed, you criticize and stuff like that. But one thing I'll never do is come out and start moaning. You know what I mean? It doesn't work. It just resonates with the negative energy. And that's what I always do. And if you carry on, like, you know, with that mentality, you know, I mean, it's not going to get better. So what I would say, Jim, that attitude there is absolutely spot on. I absolutely agree with you, my friend. Anyway, so did you see Onana is nominated to Save of the Month? Yeah. How many? Yeah. Good luck to him. Best of luck to Onana. I mean, he's had enough shots, hasn't he? Sniper, no, brother, it's a hilly area with a view, not close to the city. Big up, of course. Sunday is make or break day. Absolutely, Rasta. I agree. It is. Sniper, greetings. How are you? Big up, everyone, of course, in the chat. Good morning, everyone, guys. Good morning, everyone. Jim Walker, big up. Yeah, big up. Let's get down to this business, of course. Sniper, will that formation work at Man United with these players? Absolutely not, Kazi. I say it right now that the three at the back doesn't work. But one thing I would say, and I'm going to send this, actually, this is from his actual Wikipedia page. I've got a little article where I want you to read, right? And I want you to have your opinion on it, if I may send it, if I may get it here. 1 second. So if I send this off. So if I send this out, I want you to read it, right? And it is very important. It's something that I was pointing at a number of times yesterday. I stress. I was pointing at it a number of times yesterday in regards to it. And I want you to know, I want you to know, I want to know your opinions on it, to be honest with you, if I could. Yeah, if I could. If I want to know your opinions on it. So there we go. I'm just going to upload it right now. I want to know what your feelings are on this situation, of course, guys. So at the end of the day, look, he does play a three at the back. But also there's something else. All right, Right, here we go. So I'm going to upload this now. Let's get back to business. All right, let's get here. So Allegri has been praised for his tactical. Let's just remove this. Sorry, Kazi. Allegri has been praised for his tactical intelligence and his ability to build effectively upon Antonio Conte's successful tactics and winning mentality as Juventus manager. Albeit in a less rigorous manner, he initially continued to use Conte's trademark 3-5-2 formation, but later switched to a four-man backline, in particular in the UEFA Champions League under Allegri. There you go. He changed from the three at the back, and he moved into a four at the back. One good thing about that, what I would say in regards to Allegri, is that shows that he is versatile. That shows that he can go against his decisions initially. That shows he has a plan B. That is good. At the end of the day, in regards to Erik ten Hag, if we're going to give him one major criticism, is that he doesn't move away from his formation. He doesn't move away from what works for him, apparently, but at the moment it's not working. So in my opinion, he needs to move on in regards to that and change the formation slightly. later on today in Chatterbox, I'm going to be giving you the formation and the team that I would pick that I think will work for Manchester United against Aston Villa. And I think we should try and use it going forward. Later on at 2 p.m. UK time, I will use that team and I will show you that team, what I think will work, guys. Absolutely. Now, let me just read some of these comments. Going to the transfer news. Man United are never far away from transfer news, are they? Yep. Yeah, read that one. Anyway, said, yeah, I see that one. Let's just go down. I was on Kazi's comment, wasn't I? Yeah. So, if we look at this, so Allegri changed to 4-4-2. Nice. Yes, Sniper Man, he did. He played 4 at the back, whether it's a 4-3-3 or 4-4-2, he changed. And one thing, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, what I admire about a manager is a manager who can go against these initial principles and change it and have a plan B. This is not working. Let's see what we can change. Let's change formation. And that's what the great managers do. That's what Sir Alex Ferguson did. That's exactly what he should do. Now, this might be an old school thing because Allegri is 57. And you know what? A lot of the managers these days are carbon copies of Pep. They try to copy Pep. They do the 4-3-3. They try to copy it, tiki-taka sort of football. And you know what? It's becoming a little bit stale because everyone is doing it. Now, we need to move away from that. It's definitely not working. We need to find a formation that works for us. Let's stop looking at what is going on over there and let's concentrate on what we want to do, what's going to win us football matches going forward. That's what I would say, because this Pep business is driving me up the wall in regards to that. Oh, we have to play this match because Pep is successful. We shouldn't be copying other people. We should be going by what we want and what's good for our team. Absolutely. The Sir Alex Ferguson will obviously work. Absolutely. Sir Alex Ferguson 4-4-2, 4-5-1, of course. I've been saying it for months and months and months. I was ridiculed. It should be the last even if he wins. Yeah. Which age range, like Arteta? I would say, yeah, like Arteta, Sniper Man. I think we need someone of that kind of age range. I think we need to build a legacy. I don't think we should go in after managers that age. But let me say this, right? If someone like Allegri did get charge of Man United, you know what, we'll have a more greater chance of success, in my opinion, because of his experience, right? But then again, we won't have a longevity with him because he is Italian. He's 57. He's got, in 5 years' time, he might be it. But is 5 years enough? Is it enough? You know what I mean? Win us a couple of titles, get us back to where we belong, and then we nurture in a new manager. Could be like that as well, of course. Get the Bulls manager in. Oh, dear. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. Pressure's different at every club. Do you know what? Man United is a very heavy shirt to bed. You know what I mean? We are very, very, we're different to Wolves. We're different kettle of fish. You know what I mean? So we have to look at that from the outset and say, look, you know what? He's a good manager, but will he handle the pressure of those egos at Man United or what? The problems at Man United, the astronomical problems that we have at the moment is crazy, isn't it? What about, Simone Inzaghi's another one, Rasta Socks. He's a good one. Age range is good, and you know what? I wouldn't mind, Rasta. I wouldn't mind. The only problem with if Simone Inzaghi is he does play 3 at the back as well. At the end of the day, he plays 3 at the back, and you know what? Can he rotate from that? Can he change from that? Look, I don't really care about formations. I don't. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. As long as it works. If it works and we're winning football matches, I don't care. But one thing I'll say about the 5 at the back is Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal, you'll get results with that formation, but longevity in regards to winning titles and stuff, as Manchester United, it doesn't really fit who we are. Some clubs, it fits perfectly like a glove. Sometimes clubs it does, but other clubs it doesn't. For some reason, some weird reason, maybe it's history, something like that. We never played it. We don't have an historical history of playing the 5 at the back. We don't. But if Simone Inzaghi can change from that and move around and be more versatile, then yeah, you know what? Bring him in, by all means. Simone Inzaghi's done very well at Inter Milan, of course. He's done very well, scores goals, attacking style of football. You know what? I wouldn't mind. As long as it's someone who's going to bring us back to where we belong, Rasta. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what? I want nothing more than to be positive about this football club and be winning football matches. And whoever it is, whether it's Ten Hag, whether it's Inzaghi, whether it's Allegri, whether it's Conte, I don't care. As long as it brings us back to the promised land where we should be, where a Manchester United manager football club should be, which is at the top of the league, guys. I think Thomas Frank would be better. I agree. Thomas Frank's a good option as well. But one thing with Thomas Frank, and I would say, I'll be frank with you guys. Absolutely. I would say that in regards to our football team right now and the squad that we have currently, we've got a few players in that squad who are a little bit like this, right? So basically making fun of the manager, the accent, schoolboy coaching and stuff like that, as we heard in the past. You know what I mean? We got some of those guys still in the dressing room. In regards to Thomas Frank, he's deemed as a kind of light-hearted, joker kind of guy. You know what I mean? I don't want those same players turning on someone like Thomas Frank and making fun of him, because that's what they do, don't they? If the manager comes into this football club, right, he has to have the tools to remove the bad eggs or the bad apples. But one thing is where this is where it gets complicated, right? These players are very, very manipulative. They're liars, some of them, right? And they say they're doing this, they're doing that, but when they get on the pitch, they the little intricate little details they don't concentrate on, and they lose it. Right, this is why we're losing football matches. They do fabulous in training. For example, Rashford and all these players do fabulous in training, but when it gets to the football pitch, it doesn't work. You know, they're not giving. I don't think personally, and through my experience, right, I don't think they're giving their all. In my opinion, I don't think they're giving it all. If I'm being totally honest with you guys. Morning, Chow. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. What do you think about Stuttgart manager? I like German managers. Right, I do like German managers, but one thing I would say is that we got to be careful here, because not every German manager is going to be like Jurgen Klopp, if you know what I mean. It's going to be like Thomas Frank, for example. Thomas Frank is a manager that from Germany. You know what? They are tactically astute, but you know, I don't know. He's a young manager. And you know what? We don't know, do we, if he's going to be the guy. You know what, Chow? He could be the guy. He could be the guy to take us to the promised land. The one thing I would say is that Ineos now are going to have their say, and they're going to research the next manager. One thing they want, which I've been hearing about the last couple of weeks, is that they want a coach, and they want to take charge of the footballing side of things in regards to picking the team and stuff like that. They just want a coach who can train on the training ground. You know what I mean? So, yeah, am I back, guys? Hopefully I'm back, guys. Hopefully I'm back. Yeah, so they want to do that moving forward. They want to coach. So they want to take charge of the footballing side of things going forward. So that is a different thing that they want, of course, guys. So the Stuttgart manager, Sebastian Hoeneß, of course. Sebastian Hoeneß. I mean, if I look at Sebastian Hoeneß and he's you know what, he's a character, you know what, he's young. Who knows? You know, there are plenty of managers out there. One thing I would say is that it could be a manager that we are not expecting to be a manager. Do you know what I mean? That of Man United. It could be a guy that comes out of nowhere and manages Man United. It's like, who's this guy? Do you remember when Arsenal took Arsene Wenger? Do you remember that? And people were like, who the hell is Arsene Wenger? You know what I mean? But remember, it could be an Arsene Wenger or it could be a Christian Gross. We all know what happened with Christian Gross and his train pass and things like that. So at the end of the day, whether it's Christian Gross or Arsene Wenger, we have to get the right manager in, because you can have an unknown manager, but also, it could go pear-shaped and it could go absolutely wrong. The one thing I would say about the Man United squad right now is that they're very, very egotistical. And they're the type of people who will say, why should I listen to you? What have you won? Etc., etc., etc. If people like Jose Mourinho have been struggling with this team, so a lot of these players, 7, 8 of them are still at the club. You know what's the manager like Sebastian Hoeneß going to do? You know, it's hard. It's hard to really pick it. Rasta starts. He played 3 at the back, so no for me. A lot of people don't want that. We already have a manager. Absolutely, Randy. Yeah, I agree with you. So, Randy, no, I want him out now. See this. So big up everyone, Sniper Man, everyone. Rasta Stocks. Allegri is a bad vibes written all over it. You know what, Ashik, you make a good point. And the reason is because personality is very, very important these days in particular. This is why I'm an advocate for a younger manager to come in, because we need a manager who can relate. These days, it's completely different. People are completely different. You know what? Maybe it's my generation. Look, listen, I'm on the 40 odd. You know what I mean? So I know about the generations, of course, and I know how people used to be, and I know how they are now. Nowadays, people are more inclined to have an arm around them. They want you to look after them. They want you to pamper them and stuff like that. Back in the day, we had the street footballer, and it was completely different. You know, people could look after themselves. A lot of Man United players didn't have agents, of course, as we remember. So you know what? These days, people need agents. They need fitness, personal dietitians, and all that stuff, right? Which is, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that, you know what, the old school manager might not work these days. I'm saying this right now. Maybe we need a personality in there. Do you know what I mean? But not just a personality like an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who is a tactically inept. We need someone who is actually tactically inept, tactically astute. Do you know what I mean? We need a manager who is tactically astute. We can get a young manager in, but he needs to know what the hell he's doing in regards to putting a football team together, of course, guys. Later on today, I will give my idea of what I think Man United should line up as, the structure we should line up as, and basically the way we should go forward. Jim, I don't care what the media says or YouTube fan channels say or what I want come Sunday is Manchester United to win and Ten Hag to stay. That is exactly what I want as well, Jim. At the end of the day, the one thing I would say about it is that let's hope that we go on, fingers crossed, we go on a run of wins, because we can beat Aston Villa. We've proven we can beat Aston Villa. We beat them twice last season. Tim, what Ten Hag needs to do is go into the games against the likes of Brentford, which we do after, obviously, Aston Villa, and win those type of games as well. We need to go on a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 winning run. This is what Sir Alex Ferguson used to do back in the day, as we remember. That's what he used to do, as we all know, of course, guys. About Jim, I don't think he will stay, whatever the result. You know, we'll have to wait and see. Like, if he wins 2-0, 3-0 in this, we consider. If he wins 2-0, 3-0, he's staying. I say 60%, 70%, 70% of the time he'll be staying if he wins 2-3-0. If this does not happen and they sack Ten Hag, still I will back the club. Though I don't ever want things to get into this. You know what? One thing I would say, Jim, and that's absolutely correct what you're saying. But one thing I would say is that we need to have patience. We really do need to have patience, guys, in regards to when a new manager comes in. It's not going to be an automatic fix. It's going to take time, and we have to give the new manager time to get used to the players, to get used to the club and the environment. That's what we need to do, and we cannot be knee-jerk reaction. I know we want results. I know that's what it's about. Of course, it's all about results, but we need to give the new manager time if the new manager does come in, of course. Pios, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to have you back, my friend. Give Allegri a temporary till the end of the season for deciding the permanent one. I don't know at 57 if Allegri will accept being an interim manager. He is an experienced manager who's managed the likes of AC Milan and Juventus. I don't think he would take that, in my opinion. I agree with that. That would be a good option to do, but it might be very, very expensive as well in regards to bringing a man like Allegri into the club. Of course, Allegri, is he managing right now? If he's managing right now, you know what? You have to get him out of the club and basically, you know what, paying money as well. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think he's managing right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at the end of the day, I think if I'm correct. But the thing is, his age range, I don't think he's going to take being an interim manager. If I'm being totally frank, if I'm being totally Thomas Frank, of course. So you never know. Things will look good, but we win tomorrow and a few more wins. Things could change quickly. I don't see it happening, to be honest. If he wins tomorrow, then it's going to be a good chance that he stays for the next till Christmas, I would say. Our players need a 4-4-2 formation. It is a basic formation for the players to get used to. Sniper Man, well done, my friend. Absolutely agree with you, mate. I agree with you. We're overcomplicating things at the moment, in my opinion. Way overcomplicating things. I think Sunday is the last day for him. Nothing above that. Sal, who are your top 3 managers to replace Ten Hag? My top 3 managers to replace Ten Hag. Do you know what? What I would say is this, and it's exactly what other people have been saying on the stream today. It could be a manager that we have never heard of. The Stuttgart manager, Sebastian Hoeneß, for example. It could be like that. It could be a manager that we've never heard of, right? But in regards to speaking, in regards to knowledge, in regards to what managers I would want, of course, we all want Zidane. But Zidane's not coming to Man United, right? So let's look at it like this. Realistically, the managers that I would want to manage Man United right now are Nagelsmann. He's one manager that I would want. Amorim is another manager that I would love. He's new, young, successful at Sporting Lisbon, of course, doing the thing at Sporting Lisbon, doing very well at Sporting Lisbon, of course. Him. And another manager I would want is the Girona manager, which is Miguel. Right. I'm a big fan of Spanish managers, not because they're Spanish, it's just that they're successful in England. They know how to manage teams in England. They're tactically astute. So the Girona manager done very well last season. And you know what? I wouldn't mind him coming in, someone like that. So Amorim, Nagelsmann, and Miguel, I would want at Manchester United right now. If it wasn't those managers, of course, it would go on the lines of Inzaghi. It would go on the lines of Tuchel. After that, this is the second rank of managers that I would want at Manchester United. It would go on that list, of that league, that list of managers. But one thing I would say, if I had a manager right now to manage Man United right now, and someone said to me, gun to my head, who do you want to manage Man United and who do you think will be successful for Man United? And I'll tell you who it would be. Unai Emery. I'll say it. And the reason is, managed in England, been successful in England, limited budget, gets a team together, plays football, scores goals. Brilliant. Unai Emery. If I was to a gun to my head, say, who do you think right now would be the most successful Man United manager? Will it be a Nagelsmann? Will it be a Miguel? You know, would it be a Amorim? Or will it be an Emery? I'll choose an Emery. That's what I would choose. Snapper, who knows? Big up, everyone. 4-1. We must try it. Yeah. And Randy, do you know what? I would say that, yeah, you know what? We need to try something different. We need something that is versatile, that can change during the game, and we can move it around. Do you know what I mean? A little bit, you know, because we are too open at the moment. We are far too open at the moment. And any great manager would see that we're too open at the moment. And if you persist with this formation where we're like Bagel FC, you're not going to get success going forward, isn't it? So at the end of the day, we need to change this. And it's up to Ten Hag to do that. I don't know if he will. De Ligt was in Juve when Allegri was a coach. Yeah, absolutely. As Mark Goldbridge. Jim. Who knows? What about Mark Goldbridge, Jim? If we use three at the back, we need to tell the wingers to try back like Rashford, track back like Rashford. The problem is with the three at the back, and as I stressed a number of times in regards to that formation, is that we have two wing backs who are not competent at going forward. Maybe when Luke Shaw comes back, we are more competent at going forward. But I haven't seen Mazraoui go forward enough. And that's one thing I would say about Mazraoui. He's been brilliant, don't get me wrong. But going forward, we haven't seen it enough. We haven't seen Dalot going through enough. Dalot's been drifting into midfield, of course, because he's inadverted and protecting the midfield. We know that. But it's leaving a gaping hole on that left-hand side. But if we play a 5, a 3, and the two wing-backs, you know, if we play the two wing-backs, they're more inclined to go forward, we know. But with the three centre defenders, they're going to have to know their positioning, because when the two wingers go forward, we're left with gaps when the counter-attack happens. And this becomes a problem, right? The three in the middle start to split. They split. And if you are a good manager playing like a Pep style of football, you would know how to counter that formation. You will know how to beat that formation. It's quite simple. It is quite simple if you're a good manager. That's one thing I would say. But Danish players are in our squad. What about Danish players, my friend? Sal should manage Man United. Kazi, I wish I was just in the dressing room to have a chat with them. I'm a nobody at the end of the day. I'm just a kid from Leytonstone, East London. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if I went in there, they wouldn't even listen to me. They wouldn't have respect me. They wouldn't say, who are you? You're just a guy, you're a sportsman. You know, you don't know what it's like, you know. So they wouldn't even go near me. Big up. As Mark Gobers would say, and you go with it, how long is a piece of string in regards to how long we take to sign players or sack Ten Hag? Do you know what? We don't know. Ineos are very. One thing I said yet at the beginning, at the top of the show, is regards to Eric, Jim Ratcliffe, and regards to it isn't his decision. He's saying that it isn't his decision to sack Eric Ten Hag. It is obviously Barada, it is Brailsford, it is Ashford, of course, and it is Wilcox. Those four are in control of who sacks the manager, not Jim Ratcliffe. So So what does Jim Ratcliffe do? Thomas Frank is Danish. We need a manager who has strong personality and players fair to him. They are on the training ground. Is Thomas Frank, though, that type of manager who can request authority? That's one thing I would say, Chow. Is he the type of manager who get the respect, especially from the group of players that we have right now? Will he get the respect? Is he a Brentford manager? This is the thing. There's a difference between being a Brentford manager and a Manchester United manager. There's a huge difference. Soon as you walk out that tunnel at Old Trafford, you shrink. You shrink. Old Trafford is a different animal when you are managing Manchester United, right? When you're at the moment, when you're managing the opposition team, you seem to grow at Old Trafford. But when you're managing Man United, you seem to shrink. And you know what? Maybe Thomas Frank is the guy. Do you know what I mean? But maybe he isn't. Maybe he's not strong enough to be that manager. I mean, he is a nice guy. He looks like a nice guy and stuff like that. But nice guys don't win, do they? They don't win anything. You have to obviously have a mixture, have a balance, of course. We need to sack Bruno and Rashford, sell them in January. They're not good enough and detrimental to the whole team. Absolutely agree, Jim. These players, I wouldn't be playing in future. I think they need to go. They're bad eggs. I think, my opinion, of course. Aside from Rashford just got his form, and we cannot betray a captain. I don't care about betraying anyone. They're betraying Man United, in my opinion. They betrayed Man United for the last few years, and I wouldn't really care if they're gone. I think personally, my personal experience, guys, remove the players who've been there years. Remove the players who've been there years. Remove the players who played under Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Rangnick. Remove those players. The only way we're going to move forward is if we stop thinking about the past and we move forward. At the end of the day, that's what we need to do. That's what Arteta did with obviously fan favourites like Aubameyang. Of course, Obama Bumper Clock Yang. Remember that? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he removed all the fan favourites despite being a barrage of people against Arteta, including Piers Morgan went against Arteta and saying Arteta out because they loved Aubameyang. But they got rid of him. They got rid of him, didn't they? And they brought in a new team, and now look at them thriving. Unless we get rid of the players that have been serial failures for years and years and years, we're not going to move forward. And I tell you that right now. And there's 7 players right there in our current squad that need to be removed. Why do we think Ineos will make the decision that puts the spotlight on them and Glazers once again? At the moment, Erik ten Hag is the face of frustration. Without him, very soon it will be the owners. The owners, in regards to the Glazers, of course, the Glazers are a big problem. You know, without the Glazers, we've been dragged through the mud, bad decision after bad decision. We've come to the point of no return. So the amount of bad decisions that we've had over the years are due to the Glazers, right? Because they sign the checks, they get the decisions and stuff like that. They've also neglected Old Trafford. So at the end of the day, we have to really concentrate on who they are and what they've done in regards to them. You know what I mean? What the Glazers did with Ineos is that they have employed people that they can put the spotlight on. But don't worry, give it a few months. You know what? The spotlight will be on them, and as opposed to the Glazers. But then if it carries on getting more toxic, the spotlight will be on the Glazers again. It will, because they're the ones who sold for 25%, who didn't want to sell to Qatar. They sold for 27% to Ineos. So it could come very, very toxic very, very, very soon. You know, very soon. As everyone knows, I wanted a full sale, whether that was Apple, whether that was Amazon, whether that was bloody Durex. I don't care. You know what I mean? I just wanted Man United to have a full sale and get rid of the Glazers and get rid of the debt. Now, things are going to move a lot more slower than they would have done if we had a full sale. A lot more slower. You know what I mean? So people are not going to be patient. We've had enough patience this last 10 years. We've had enough people screaming out for Glazers out and stuff for the last 10 years. And don't worry, that will come back. It still is there. It hasn't gone anywhere. But that will come back. Omar Barada will handle this. We hope. And one thing I would say, though, I hope Ineos are successful, right? I really do. Because it's better than nothing, right? We've got them 27%. This is it. We have to cope with it. And I hope that eventually Ineos buy out the Glazers. What do I think they'll buy out the Glazers? In my heart of heart, do I think they'll buy out the Glazers? No, I don't. If I'm being totally honest, I don't think they're going to buy out the Glazers, if I'm being honest. Allegri does not like intense media scrutiny or interviews. He began to crack at Juventus, and perhaps he needs a stable club where he can work in peace. Goals for George, spot on, mate. And you know what? What are Man United right now? What happens at Man United? Media scrutiny. We have media scrutiny every single day. There's a news story in regards to Man United. What's going on in regards to Man United? Media scrutiny after media scrutiny. Obviously, rumours after rumours after rumours. That is Man United at the end of the day, to a T, of course. Jim Sabio and Bruno needs to be sacked too. Yeah, I agree. I don't care if he's our captain. He isn't a good captain. And that is coming from a guy who's witnessed Roy Keane, Steve Bruce, Gary Pallister, Peter Schmeichel. You know what I mean? David Beckham. from Emery's press conference yesterday, his English isn't great, but his body language says he means business. He's fantastic, Kazi. I like him. He's fantastic. And you know what? One thing what's great about Unai Emery, especially when he was at Arsenal, he's learned from his mistakes, right? He's learned from his mistakes, and he's evolved as a manager. He's won trophies wherever he has been at. You know what I mean? He's won trophies everywhere. He's won Europa Leagues, hasn't he? You know, that guy's a genius. He is. Do you remember about Rashford scored the Europa League? Who cares? That's all we did. Kazi, yeah, we don't even have McTominay now to say that. Oh, we don't need McTominay. We've had Tommy for 10 years, mate. We've done nothing. We need to move on from McTominay, Sniper Man. McTominay is not going to get us to the promised land. At the end of the day, and I say it again, and I stress, right, in regards to McTominay and Fred and all these players here, we're trying to change the way we play football. We don't need players who hide from the ball. McTominay hides from the ball. And McTominay is playing in our central of midfield. He hides from the ball. He hides behind players, right? People at Napoli have already said it. They've witnessed it. Yeah, they've already seen it, right? So at the end of the day, he hides behind the player so that people don't play past him. The only good thing about McTominay is that he's good to bring on as a substitute to nick a goal. But that's survival football. We need to get away from survival football. Man City don't play survival football. Liverpool don't play survival football. You know what I mean? Arsenal don't play survival football. They don't truck a man up front and say, floof it up to McTominay. They don't do that. We need to find a way to control games, to dominate games. And for that, we need to get rid of players who go against that. And that includes McTominay. Not just him, right? There's a number of players who need to go from the club if we're going to change the structure and culture of our football club. That's why. And I'm telling you right now, McTominay as a central midfielder would never get you to where you want to go, which is challenging for the title. And that we need to be challenged for the title when Manchester United. We've had McTominay for 10 years. We've lost 6-1 under McTominay. We lost 5-0 under McTominay. We lost 4-0 under McTominay. We lost, you know what I mean? We've lost loads of games of McTominay. You know, he's not that guy. Let's leave McTominay to be successful in Napoli. So it's either Emery or Nagasa for me. Realistically, Emery won't leave. He's fantastic project. He might do Ashik if we leave him to the end of the season. If we get an interim in, we might get Emery at the end of the season. But it's whether people want interim, of course. The problem is not formation or style, rather it's the player understand the philosophy of the modern total football, which is everyone attacks and everyone defends together, hard work and together. Goals for George. Very, very true, my friend. Very true. Bear with me a second. Sorry, guys. My wife always leaves her phone out, so you know what? I always have to answer it for her and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you, guys. So let me read this. Yeah, so I agree with that. Absolutely. You know what? I don't think these players are giving the maximum amount of effort. If I'm being totally honest with you guys, absolutely, I don't think they're giving the maximum amount of effort. And Roy Keane said it, didn't he? Roy Keane said, "You know what? People make a big fuss about formation." You know what? And it's about implementation at the end of the day, as you said, my friend. But formation helps. It helps. And I think we're being overly complicated right now. Eric Ten Hag's formation is complicated. It's very complicated. Maybe we need to go back to basics. As I said, 4-4-2. And the reason is these players don't have it in them to do it. As you said, goes to George, yes, they do need to all give the effort and stuff like that. But I don't think these players have it in them to do that. I really don't at the end of the day. So, yeah. So I respect your opinion. What we need is respect. Captain is someone who is a leader. And right now, I can't see winning lackluster captain. He's not a leader, mate. He's not a leader. Sniper Man, you're a very young fella, right? You don't remember Roy Keane. You don't remember, not being ageist here, by the way, but I've seen a lot of captains in my time. Let me just say, not just Man United, throughout history, right? Brian Robson, Roy Keane, right? David Beckham, okay? Those type of people. Peter Schmeichel was a captain as well. Gary Neville. And one thing I would say is that he doesn't inspire me. As a Manchester United fan, I look at Bruno and I don't feel inspired. I feel like he moans too much. He doesn't edge players on. He's like this all the time. You should be like this. This is how you should be as a captain, right? When a player is not playing well on the pitch, right? When a player is not playing well, you go, mate, come on, come on, come on. What are you doing? Come on, I got you. Let's do this. Come on, we can win this game. We can win this game. You know, we can win this game. Come on, we got you. You know how good you are. You know how good you are. You know what you're capable of. We know what you're capable of. I've seen it. Grab him by the collar. Come on. Not, you should be going over there. No, you should be going over there. Oh, forget this. Oh, forget that. The body language is passive. It's not good enough as a captain. And that's what I would say. I don't care if they're Danish. I don't care if they're Swahilian. I don't care. As long as they play for the football badge, it doesn't matter if they get respect. They get respect from Manchester United fans. That's what they need to aim for. Not respect because they're Danish or respect because they're Italian. Respect because they're French. I don't care where they're from. I want them to be respect because they're Manchester United. I don't care about getting respect from the Danish players. It gets a flying F about where they're from. You know what I mean? I don't care. They need to play for the badge. Absolutely, Sniper Man. Thank you for your comment, but nah, they need to play for the badge. Absolutely. Ciao. I mean, no matter who comes in, we need to coach who can coach in these players. It's going to be difficult, Ciao, to find that man because you know what our players are like, isn't it? A bunch of sport brats, a number of them. We saw that with Jadon Sancho, of course. Let's not forget. But didn't we renew Bruno? Yeah, we did. Mistake, Sniper Man. Mistake. Way we've been run over the years, isn't it? But those are the players with experience. Our team are brand new. We need a new experience. What is Bruno's experience at Man United? Tell me, what is his experience? Losing. He doesn't have any experience of winning titles. I mean, the odd FA Cup here and there, you know what, it's good. But you know what? At the end of the day, he doesn't have experience of winning, properly winning. And this is where Arsenal get unstuck. This is where Arsenal sort of lose it, you know. It's because they need to win that first title and then they will go on a run. Trust me. The thing with Man City, they know how to win titles, and a lot of those players have won numerous amounts of titles, of course. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. I'd rather get relegated and force the Glazers to sell the club. A lot of people would, but it would be more harmful than good. But you know what? Maybe if it's for a longer term, they'll never sell the club, Chow, though. Even if we got relegated, they won't sell. Hi, Darko. How Man United will continue making money as long as Man United continue making money and they continue getting their dividends. It doesn't matter if Man United are playing in the Premier League or the National League. Man United will always accumulate money. They will make money no matter where they are. They will sell 77,000 seats at Old Trafford every single game. Man United will sell jerseys every single season. It doesn't matter if Man United in League One, in League Two. It doesn't matter. They will still stay because they get enough money. Your copy and paste message again. Copy and paste message again. Allegri. It's Allegri, my friend, and I'm not Ray. I'm not Ray. So a day, unless you want to be blocked, mate, come and stop calling me Ray. Sal, 15th position is a precarious position. I never thought I'd see it in a day when Brighton, Aston Villa, and Everton are better than us. That should not be. I've seen it before. I've seen when Aston Villa were better than us. Actually, I have back in the late 80s and early 90s, of course. But obviously, because they were winning, Leeds were as well. But it shouldn't be like that right now because they don't have the financial power that we have. They're not Manchester United at the end of the day, are they? You know, and it shouldn't be like in this. We shouldn't be in this position. Absolutely not. But yeah, McTominay is bailing out Napoli, scoring almost every game. He scored one goal, hasn't he? Absolutely. He's not an elite player, Sniper Man. He's not an elite player. Listen, Sniper Man, you're a kid, right? You're a kid. You think that McTominay is a great player because he kisses the badge and that. He's not a Manchester United player, mate. My advice to you, Sniper Man, is go back in time and look what a Manchester United player is, right? Go back because that's when we were successful, right? And look what a true Manchester United player is. Look at it and look at the difference. F Pogba. Sniper Band Pogba is another bad player who is inconsistent. Pogba's lazy. I don't want Pogba. His passes were class. Even Mourinho at Spurs feared him. Mate, Sniper Man, you're talking like you're 15, which you are, of course. You can salam alaikum too. It's called if you need timeout. If you need timeout, so you can say salam alaikum to the called if you need timeout. So what do you mean salam alaikum to the called? What do you mean, mate? Oh, No. It's cool, mate. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I get you, Jim. Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. I've done it. Also, there is a rumor that Saliba might go. He will eventually. There is no one in that team that can inspire me as a captain. That includes Casemiro and Eriksen, who are unreliable. Goals for George, thank you very much. It's all about inspiration at the end of the day. It's not just about how you play on a football pitch. It's about inspiring people. You know what I mean? As the way you are, your mannerism and stuff like that. For me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows a lot about captains, right? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't want to put Bruno as the captain. He wanted to keep Maguire. Why is that? You know, and we have to look at that. Why didn't he want to give Bruno the captaincy? Adiri, look at this, guys. Hi, Darkro, blah, blah, blah. This guy, Adiri Kakalumba, has been saying, calling me Ray, Manchester United Ray. Adiri, my friend, please stop sending me the same bloody nonsense every single minute, please. When things go wrong, Bruno always moaning he's not a captain. That's the thing. It's a blame game, Chow. It's a blame game for him. You know, he points at that way. He points at that way. He points at that way. He's always blaming someone but himself. Sniper Man, there were times Pogba played okay. Times is not enough. Man United, you've got to play at least 8 out of 10 every single game. And Pogba's not that guy. I like Pogba. I think he's a fantastic player on his day, but when is his day? You know, that's the problem. He didn't do well when he went back, obviously, to Juventus as well. None of these players inspire me, sadly, Sal. None of them do. Me neither, mate. Absolutely not. None of these players inspire me. None of these players, I think, yeah, you know what? I want to go to the trenches with that guy. None of them players do that for me. Those players just seem like, you know, when you look at those players, and that includes Casemiro at Man United, you know, these players like Rashford, like Bruno, like Luke Shaw, like Maguire, like Lindelof, I look at them and I'm like, they're not going to win with them, are we? We're not going to really win a league with them, are we? If we look in our heart of hearts and we look at those players lined up, nah, we're not going to. They're already long gone in regards to mentality. They're long gone in regards to mentality, and each one of those players need to be out, in my opinion. Eventually, they need to be removed from the club. If I'm being totally honest with you guys. Ten Hag is going nowhere. Stop the crazy Ten Hag out. Patience, please. One thing I would say, Randy, and I'll say it to you, I'm backing the manager, right? But one thing I will say, and he has to get results quickly. He has to. We are Manchester United, not Ten Hag FC, not Rashford FC, not Bruno FC, none of that business. We are Manchester United FC. And if you carry on picking the same players, the same formation, and it is harming the football club, which it is, right? You've got to call it out for what it is. We cannot be overzealous. Being overzealous is also very, very harmful to the football club. You have to call things as they are. Is Ten Hag doing good enough? No, he is. Is it just his fault? No, it's not. Is it the players as well? Yes, it is, which is why I'm saying we need to sell a few of those players. But that's not to say that Erik Ten Hag shouldn't improve. He needs to improve, right? He needs to stop playing the goddamn formation that he plays that exposes the midfield, right? He needs to stop playing players who don't track back. Like against Aston Villa on Sunday, I'm interested to know if he's going to pick Rashford again. He's going to pick Bruno again. Even though it's crying out for a different formation, he's not going to do it. This is the problem with Erik Ten Hag. Erik Ten Hag does some good things. He has done some good things, but we also have to call out the problems when they are. We cannot be overzealous. He's making mistakes. Of course he is, but it's not just him. But what do you do in regards to that? Do you remove all the players or do you remove Erik Ten Hag? Ultimately, a manager is judged on the results, right? Ultimately, he's judged on the results. Now, when one or two players don't perform, right, you don't carry on playing them. But we're not getting that. We're getting 11 players are not performing. 11 players week in, week out, who are not performing to the level that they can. And they're not crap players. Bayern Munich would beat 20 with De Ligt, right? Let's be honest, with Mazraoui, right? If Bayern Munich had our team without Rashford and Bruno and that, and just put their players in as well, and played FC20 and played Porto that night, they'll win that game. Why? Culture, mentality, the club. We're going into the dumps in regards to mentality, in regards to culture, in regards to a winning mentality of we can challenge, we can do this. At the moment, I'm backing the manager, and I stress I'm backing the manager, and I will back the manager. But we cannot be overzealous and we cannot be absolutely delusional in our backing also. I backed Ten Hag last season to the point I was hated. Right? I backed him because I believed in him, because of the mitigating circumstances, the off-field issues exactly. No manager would have coped. And he won the FA Cup, right? So I backed him. But I said at the beginning of the season, I'm not going to give him a free pass. I'm not. Nobody is missing in that team apart from our left back, full back. And what have I said for the last few months? We need a left back. We need a left back. We need a left back. If not, bring in Harry Amass. Bring in Harry Amass. Bring in Harry Amass. Play him in a few games. Play him in a few games. Play him in a few games. Over and over and over again. Why? Because we are being exposed on that left-hand side, my friend. We're being exposed. Dalot is cutting him as an inverted fullback, trying to protect Eriksen. You know, then play the double pivot. Bring Eriksen and Mainu and Ugarte in that midfield as a 3. Keep Eriksen as a kind of number 8, right? And move him a little bit forward. Play the 2 though. Don't play Bruno. Keep Bruno at the team. Play the 3 up front, right? Garnacho, Højlund, and Ahmad. Play that. Yeah. Then play Amass. And play Amass. And if you play him, even if you brought him into the team, if you don't want to play Amass, Mazraoui's played there. Play him there. It's not working with Dalot. It's not working. And we're conceding goal after goal after goal from that side. It's a problem. I couldn't believe how Casemiro lost his head against Liverpool after mistakes. Yeah, we lost it completely. You know what? Everyone makes mistakes at the end of the day, and people will always make mistakes. Schmeichel made mistakes. Kino made mistakes. I was at Old Trafford when we lost 3-2 to Real Madrid, right? In 2000, year 2000, right? I was at Old Trafford, and Roy Keane scored an own goal, right? He scored an own goal. Players make mistakes. Great players make mistakes. That doesn't mean that you give up. You completely just throw in the towel and you give up. We do. We seem to give up. Sadly. Sal, night after night, when we keep losing, it's a lot out of your mental health. When you live overseas and the games are so late, it's emotional drain. It is emotionally draining, but I don't let it affect my mental health, because at the end of the day, what I know is this. By hook or by crook, I believe Man United will be back. Things will straighten themselves out. Great people do. Great football clubs do. They eventually come back, right? At the end of the day, it's not easy. For Jim, for you, for me, we watch the game very late. I'm in the Middle East, of course. I mean, and I respect people all over the world who have to stay up late, who have to wake up very early to watch the football games. I lived in England, from England, all my life I lived in England, and it was easy. But nowadays, you're really feeling it. And one thing you really want is that them to turn up, you know, and show the same amount of effort. Rose said, but I see some good things. I do as well, Randy. But ultimately, we're judged on results and player decisions, team selection. Players makes a lot of mistakes, but the tactics is good. We create more chances and give away less chances. Randy, we've had more shots on goal than any other club in Europe, mate. We give away too many chances. Randy, look at the Porto game, right? I'm not saying that it's completely bad, the tactics. There's a couple of tweaks here and there. Left back is the big problem. What did I say before the game? If you go back to the game, the watch along that I was doing at Porto United, I said, watch Porto attack our left-hand side. Watch it. And it did over and over again. Got the ball to the left, Galeno, cross. Got the ball to the left, Galeno, cross. That's what they were doing. João Mario on the fullback, on the left-hand side, right-hand side, his side, our left. Going forward, bombing on that right. It's a problem. Midfield is too open as well. Absolutely, Kazi. Yeah, it's too open. It's too open. We need to tactically remove it. Bruno plays too far forward. So if in essence, we end up having a top 4, right? So we have 4 up front because we've got Bruno there, Rasmus there, Ahmad there, and Garnacho or Rashford there. So we have 4 up front. And we're leaving the midfield exposed. Mainu likes to go a little bit forward. So that leaves Ugarte exposed. Right, so when the number 8 goes forward, and then we got Bruno, who was already in the number 10 position, and then we got Ugarte there. If the team wins back the ball, it's very easy to do, right? You win back the ball, you get the ball forward on those wings, right? Because Dalot is forward as well. Let's not forget, right? On the left-hand side, we are in disarray. We are all over the bloody shot, right? We're all over the place. And this is what happens, right? We got players inadvertently going this way, going that way, bumping into each other. We got no wingers going through, overlapping. We got players too far forward, 6 or 7 players forward, and we got Ugarte like, what the hell shall I do? It's just me against 4. You know what I mean? This is the problem at the moment, what we're having. Voyage game, I wonder if the manager, even the board, watched a replay of the game to analyze the performance. That's why they should be doing to make it right, adjustments. Mate, I watched a lot of football in my life. A lot of football, Jim, you know, as you have as well. I've seen a lot of things. I've coached youth football teams. I've done this, I've done that. You know what I mean? I played football semi-pro for Hornchurch, right? And the thing I would say is that some of the errors that we're making are schoolboy errors, right? And they don't take much to fix, right? But what we're doing is that football is a game of fine margins, of course. So at the end of the day, what we're doing right now is that we're naive. You know what I mean? I hate losing, but I see progress. I see patches of football, good football, but I don't see progress as a whole. I don't. I see patches of good football. I see more of a style, right? One thing I would say is that the formation that Erik ten Hag is playing doesn't work for the players that we have on the pitch, right? It doesn't work. And the reason that is because we're playing too much inverted style. And when you play inverted, you cannot play his style of football. We're playing too inverted. That includes wing backs. That includes the midfielders, the wingers, of course. We're playing too much like that, guys, in my opinion. And he needs to change that. Football is a very simple game. A very simple game. You can play 4-4-2, 4-5-1, 4-4-1-1, whatever you want to play, right? But the team has to have balance. If the team has balance, then they would. I'm telling you right now, if Man United went to a League One team, they would show a more of a style of play because they're balanced. Dalot doesn't work. And we've seen that it's not working. Change it. Change it. Whether you bring in a young player or you bring in Mazraoui on the left and you put Dalot on the right, you do that. You change it up. It's not working like that. You move there, you move Licha on the left, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. Do something. Change it up a little bit. You know, he doesn't. He doesn't have a plan B. And that's one thing I would say about him. But you know what? Best of luck. Our biggest problem is left back, as you called it. Randy, it is. It is. And it takes one position in modern day football to F everything up in regards to that. Because at the end of the day, the opposition team, and let's not forget, every team has world-class players these days. Every team, right? Even Porto. So when they look at Man United, the left, attack the left. He's going to go forward, attack the left. If you're a right footer, right? And you were told to go on the left of the fence, right? And then you're playing against a right midfielder, right? Who's naturally right midfielder, yeah, with his right foot. It's like saying to this, right? It's like putting a kickboxer and a boxer in a ring, but you can only box, right? Who's going to win? The boxer or the kickboxer? The boxer's going to win because the boxer's use of his hands more. The kickboxer is going to lose because he doesn't know experience with his hands. He's flimsy. And that is football as well. Bell, big up, Sal. I missed the show, but I'll watch it back. Allegri. He'd be a big change for the players and the fans get used to. Best of luck to everyone. Thank you, Top Button. Thank you very much for joining me regardless. Thank you, mate. Absolutely. Jim, if we sat Ten Hag, our process set back in the wrong direction, it would take more time to fix it. Yes. And they have more players, a backlog of players as well. But you know what? Football moves on. And you know what? At the end of the day, you know, football is ruthless. It's a beast injury. We have to address the left back position and left wing must support a left back and Rashford not doing it. Me too, Randy. I agree. Man United going Richard. The lights are up and subscribe, people. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Ten Hag is better than Ferguson. Richard. You're gonna get blocked, my man. You're just spamming right now. Football is a results business, absolutely, Kazi. That's what it's all about. This side is better than 99. Richard, mate, you're talking Absolute malarkey, mate. I don't like criticising young players, but Mainu looks unfit this season. He sprints and with slowest jogging, and Pogba, maybe he needs to rest up. One thing I would say about goals for George is that, when it comes to young players are always notoriously inconsistent. And Sir Alex Ferguson used to say it when we had the class of 92. We used to have inconsistencies. We used to lose 5-0, 6-3, 4-1 to Spurs and stuff like that. We used to lose games, right? Because young players will always be consistent. But one thing you need if you're a young player, you need players that are inspirational next to you, players that are proven winners. Like, Mainu should not be playing every single game, right? He should not be playing every single game. He's a young player. He needs to be nurtured. Cristiano Ronaldo did not play every single game for Man United when he first went to Man United. He used to be on the bench. A lot of the times he used to be on the bench, and he was slowly drifted into the team and slowly became a first-team player. That is how you treat young players. You slowly bring them into the team. We've completely threw him into the team, England international, best England player, and now he's got the mentality where I'm the best. I'm made. We shouldn't be doing that. We need to drift in players slowly, and be more smart, of course. He is talking nonsense. He always does. Our team is unbalanced, I agree. Yeah, it is. It doesn't take much to fix it, but one thing we need is the manager to realize it, that it is unbalanced. And when he fixes it, he will be a good manager for Man United. I make no mistake about that. I think he will be, because he does show signs of being a good manager. You know what I mean? But he needs to correct the mistakes. No, you're not. No, you're not, Richard. You're talking trash. Richard, stop talking about. Absolutely. This team is going to click. I hope soon. I hope so too, Randy. For our sake, I hope so too. For our sake, for Manchester United's sake. Randy, greetings, bro. I hope you're doing all right. Eventually, it will click, come back. Absolutely, have the belief, guys. Absolutely, have the belief. Randy, Richard is telling some truths. We do have a good team, but not that good. Nowhere near that good, mate. They're not even worth good as Man United reserve team back then. I'll tell you that, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a fantastic show. It's gone quickly again. Goodness me, you brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you later on for Chatterbox. I'll be doing the preview for the Aston Villa game today at 2:00, guys. So don't forget to tune in. It's going to be good. It's going to be an eye opener. I'm going to pick the team that I think should play against Aston Villa. I hope you're going to have a great Saturday, guys. Enjoy the football. Whatever you're doing today, enjoy yourself. Life's fun. Life's for living. Life's beautiful. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. Take it easy. If I can find this. There we go. Guys, listen. Glory, mother Man United. Let's do this, guys. Let's get it in. Let's go. Take it easy. Peace.